Hi Gemini, welcome to your February 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your actions and interactions with the world at large in February, you have the Page of Cups, right? So this is really you taking care of business when it comes to your creative ideas. This is you putting pen to paper, maybe it's paintbrush to paper, paintbrush to canvas. Maybe this is you tapping into, or, you know, finally starting to express all of those things that you've wanted or needed to create. And the fact that you've got the Page of Cups, there's an intuitive thread this month that is kind of navigating you or leading you forward. Some of it's like, I kind of feel like this is like trial and error. Like I see a lot of you working on something and you're like, yeah, I kind of like how that's turned out, but it could be better. And it's like you're continually going through the process of refining something, but it's not hard, it's not forced. It's not like, oh, I've got a deadline and this has to be this and da-da-da-da. It's none of that. It's just like this easy sort of flowing, chilled, intuitive kind of creative energy, which is lovely. What I also like about this as well, it suggests that on a heart space level, a lot of you are starting to open up, whether this is that you're getting back your childlike sense of wonder, maybe there's a little bit of mischief in the air, which I'm always here for, by the way. But there's something about this month that sees you really tapping into that creative faculty. And I think in a lot of ways, this is starting to get you back to a space where you feel a lot freer than maybe you have in a while. By the time we get to February the 4th, your ruler Mercury will be direct in the sign of Capricorn, which is going to see a lot of you now starting to not only restructure, because that's what you've been doing through the retrograde, but I think this is now a time where you've got a much clearer idea on the projects, the ideas, the work, maybe even the relationships that you want to pursue. And I think a lot of you are really tapping into kind of this, I almost want to say like this innate kind of either spiritual or maybe even for some of you kind of intuitive kind of feel. Like that's the only way that I can explain it. That's probably not a very good example, but and then it will go and then when it goes fully direct, it will be out of the sign of Capricorn and back into the sign of Aquarius. Mercury, your ruler, does good work in Aquarius. He does really, really good stuff there because it allows you to think outside the box. So this might be a time where, certainly over the course of this month, your intuitive faculties are going to be sky high, which is great. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Ace of Wands. Whatever you're working on, there's a lot of creativity here. I think for a lot of you, this is ideas coming thick and fast. I think for some of you as well, there is a lot of pleasure ahead of this month, I have to say. There's a lot of enjoyment. It looks like there's a lot of invites to get-togethers, gatherings and parties this month. What I like about this for you is because you guys are naturally very social, right? You need to be. That doesn't mean that you like everybody that you socialize with, but that's for a whole other video. All jokes aside though, that Ace of Wands is gorgeous. Pick up the pen, pick up the paintbrush, start writing, start creating, get back into that sphere of doing things, because it's just a really gorgeous energy. There's a lot of fun this month, there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of laughter. It is the Ace of Wands, which could suggest as well that there's a lot of flirtation going on this month as well, especially with that Page of Cups, because it kind of feels like if you haven't got a crush, this might be that somebody at least catches your eye, right? So, you know, I'll say no more on that front. For your heart and hearth sector, you've got the Six of Cups. So for a lot of you, this may be somebody that is either already in the picture, and I've said this to you guys, you Geminis, for a while. You've had somebody that's kind of like a friend with benefits, and they kind of come and they go and they come and they go, and it's not an issue to you, it's not an issue to them, but you do this and then you go away, and then you do this and then you go away. And I kind of feel like there's something now more, or like some sort of deeper element that's starting to evolve from that. And I kind of get the feeling that this person is either a friend, like there's definitely mutual attraction there, right? You like each other's minds, you also like everything else of each other's as well, clearly. But more importantly, that Six of Cups suggests that you are both now in a space where you're ready to embrace that a lot more. And I kind of feel like a part of this is because whatever other levels you connect on a heart space or a spiritual, or maybe even an intuitive level, you also connect. For a lot of you, this could be a past lover, a past love, an old flame, like I said, an old friend with benefits. Maybe this is, you know, like we've all got that one person where you're never single at the same time. And so like there's just this tension, and it's always there, and you're like, well, you know, maybe one day if the stars align, this may be that time. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is gorgeous. It's sexy, it's fun, it's flirtatious. This is, you know, sorry to get graphic, but, well, it's not graphic, but you know what I mean. This is sexting and, you know, pictures, and like this is you and your partner getting back to that time, you know, like at the beginning, everybody's all over each other. This could kind of be you and your partner getting back to that energy, but it's more than just like, oh, you know, our sex life has improved. It's like that has improved, but the deeper connection has improved alongside it. And it's fun, it's fruity, it's frolics, it's enjoyment. For those of you that have siblings, this also, you know, outside of the relationship, obviously outside of the relationship, God, you know what I mean. Outside of that, for those of you that have had issues or challenges with or around siblings, this is a great month for reconciliation. Even if that's with friends who are like siblings, this could be a really, really great month for that. For your money, materials, and your finances, you've got the Temperance card. So this is you making money from things that you genuinely love to do, right? So even if you're employed by somebody else, this could be the month where you finally set up the side hustle or the side business. For those of you that are in any form of the healing or the spiritual arts, your finances are skyrocketing this month. It also suggests to me as well that this month you're getting a gift or a bonus of some sort. Maybe this is a shout out if you've got your own business from somebody that, you know, could really improve your sales, etc. If you are, you know, an employee, this suggests that maybe you're getting, you know, a raise or a payment of some sort. Maybe your boss comes to you and says, look, you know what, we want to give you a discretionary bonus. There's something here that suggests your finances are regulating, but they're doing this through a gift, through something that somebody gives you. Great. When it comes to your first week of the month, you have the Temperance card, right? So you've got a double hit of Temperance. Now, Temperance, aside from all of its other meanings and the things that I've just talked about there, it can sometimes see us releasing our fears around what should be, or the way that something should be. And I kind of feel like this first week of the month, there's a part of you that just gets a lot lighter. Maybe there's something that you're letting go here on that sort of emotional level. And, you know, especially if your creativity's been blocked or damned in any way, like it kind of suggests that this month it opens up. And the first week of the month, there maybe is even some sort of intuitive, psychic, or even spiritual or emotional healing. It's like, you know, If any of you ever saw the Dark Crystal, I love that. And the original as well. Like, I remember watching the Dark Crystal when I was, you know, yay high. I'm probably really dating myself at this point. But it's like that, you know, the crystal shard, when it puts back into the crystal, it heals the whole thing. And this kind of feels like that energy. So, and it's happening, it's not going to be public, but it is happening very deeply personally. For your second week of the month, you've got your card, the Lover's card, underneath the Ace of Wands. This is flirty, like vivacious, vibrant energy. This is banter and laughter. It's invites. You may have to be a little bit more discerning with your invites around the second week of the month, because it looks like you're going to be very busy. And, you know, we're human. You can't split yourself. Not even you, Gemini, can split yourself into, like, you know, so it might be that second week you're having to kind of really deliberate of, okay, can I go to all of these? Or, you know, which ones can I attend realistically? You know, and how much can I do without sort of, you know, doing myself in? But very interesting, because you've got a card of balance here. You've got a card of balance here. You've also got the Six of Cups, and you've also got the Temperance card there as well. And I mean, if you want to get really into it and like a little bit weird and wacky, as I like to, 6 and the Temperance card, which is 5 because it's 14, 1 and 5, 11, 11. So I'm kind of intrigued as to what this, I mean, this month, I think it's going to be a good month for you, but it will be interesting to see how it comes out. For the third week of the month, you've got the Tower card, and you've got this underneath the Six of Cups. That is a surprise visit. That is a surprise reconnection. So like I said, this person, for a lot of you, is somebody that you know. Maybe they have told you, I'm not going to be able to make it this week, this month, and all of a sudden you find them, or you see them in a place where you didn't expect to see them. Or maybe, just maybe, you have invited somebody that fulfills, you know, what I talked about, and they say, look, you know, I'm not going to be able to make it, I'm really sorry. And you're like, okay, you know, it is what it is. And they show up last minute. For those of you that are partnered, married, let your partner surprise you, right? I know Geminis tend to figure out you guys are really hard to surprise, because you don't miss a trick. And so sometimes that, you know, turns into like your partner wants to do something for you, like spontaneously, and you've already figured it out. And it's like, oh, okay. Let your partner surprise you. I promise you it will be a nice one. For your fourth week of the month, you've got the Chariot card underneath the Temperance card. So when it comes to your money, your finances, your resources, this is very nice. I do have to say, late February, so like the third week of Feb going into the fourth week of Feb, so just as we come into Pisces season really, please watch out with your vehicle and your car. If you're traveling by car, especially if you're traveling a distance by car, please get it checked out. Specifically, get the tires checked out, and or the brakes, and specifically the brake discs. All right, just check in with those kinds of things. Other than that, I don't see anything scary, but the Tower card next to the Chariot, you've got to call a spade, right? Now, your money, your finances, your resources are taking an upswing, but it really does feel like this is a bonus. This is a gift of some sort, and it's in response or in regards to something that you've already done. So this is kind of like reward energy. It's not something that you're having to, you know, put extra work in for. That being said, it is the Chariot card, so do expect it. I mean, this whole month, if it's not work, then it's going to be personal stuff. And if it's not personal stuff, then it's going to be work. You're going to be busy, right? And look at that. Your new moon and full moon cards have just popped out. I haven't seen them, but I feel like this is your new moon card. So your new moon in Aquarius is taking place for you in the... Let me just double check. Your new moon is happening in the 9th house for you, which is all to do with higher education, philosophy. It's also the house of true spirituality. And this seems to be a thread that's running through this entire month. You've got this card, the Gate 20 and the Now, which reminds you to be in the present moment. So as busy as you're going to be this month, right, especially around that new moon, pay attention to some of the signs, the synchronicities, the symbols that show up for you, especially symbols or anything that has that kind of spiritual, esoteric kind of feel or nature to it. The other thing as well with a new moon in the sign in the 9th house, so this is to your ascendant sign, to a lesser degree the sun and the moon, but will still be kind of relevant. This is the house of travel and foreign cultures. Don't be surprised if around or as a result of that new moon there is a connection in some way, shape or form to the overseas, to people or things or places that are far and distant to you. When it comes to your full moon message, which is the which is in your 3rd house in the sign of Leo, this is a grand completion, culmination, and you've got the Tower card in this deck. It's called 51 and Shock, and what this tends to do, look, and it falls right underneath the Tower. So that full moon is likely to bring you a very big surprise of some sort, something that you genuinely do not see coming. If I'm completely honest with you, I do feel like it's going to be a big surprise that is actually very good for you, or something that you really love, or something that you really enjoy. It may even be something that maybe takes you into that emotional sphere and you're like, ugh, you know, how dare you make me emotional, peasant? You know, but it's something that really is going to capture you. Like, you might really feel this on a deep level where you're like, whoa, you know, like I'm feeling that, like, and it could be great. Some really interesting stuff going on with your numbers here. So you've got the 6 of Cups, you've got the Lovers card, which is also number 6, you've got the Gate 50, 51, 5 and 1s is 6, so you've got 3 6s. 3 6s represents success, not the mark of the beast. And the Chariot card is number 7, and the Tower card is number 16. 1 and 6 gives you 7. 2 7s is news, right? So there's a piece of information coming in this month that is likely to blow your mind, all right? Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.